In this video, I'm recording how the comment status management system works in PCR. The overall purpose of the comment status management functionality is for teachers to submit comments for their students, so it would be narratives that could possibly show up on the report cards. And once they submit those narratives, we have different levels of administrators that can go in and approve those narratives, or they can send those narratives back to the teacher so that teachers can review them and then resubmit them until they are approved. The first step in setting up the common status management functionality is to set up the different levels that a school may need. In my example, I have several levels, but the first few are applicable to any school that is setting up this functionality. So the not reviewed is the default, and it's available for is the default status that the teachers will see when they first go to the teacher portal and when they're about to enter narratives. The second one and the third one, so the second one is return to teacher and the third one is teacher submitted. These two statuses are used for administrators to return any comments that have to be revised back to the teachers, and then once everything has been completed, the teachers can submit the comments so that administrators can review them again and send them either back to the teachers, or they can approve them and then move the comment to the next level. In my example, once the teachers have submitted their comments and they have been reviewed, there's a first level of administrator who would go in and approve the comment. In my example, I have assigned John Smith to do that. You can assign either one person to mark it as approved, or you can have many different people that can mark comments as approved. Once, in this example, once John Smith approves a comment, he'll mark it as admin approved, and then Francis can go in and review the comments that John has approved, and then Francis can mark them as department approved. Some schools may have more than just these two levels. Some may have 3 or 4 or 5 levels, and other schools may just have one level up to here. So once teachers submit, once everything has been reviewed, the admin may just approve the comments, and then they could run a report and publish that to the advisors or to the parents. So once this part has been set up, the next part that the school will set up is the email notification, which is found under email notification setup. And in my example, I'm doing a report card, but the same could be applied to progress report and interim reports. So the administrators will set up a email that would go out to notify the teacher if they have to review their comment or if they have to revise their comments. So when the admin goes in and reviews the comments and they see something that the teacher needs to fix, they can type in a feedback comment and they can check the box called notify the teacher, which I'll go over shortly, and the teacher will get an email that the administrator set up here. So the email in my example, I'm just saying that your comment for a particular class and for a particular student was not accepted, and then here I provide the feedback, or I send the feedback that the administrator provided to the teacher. We have several fields that administrators can use to set up this email. Now that the email has been set up, I'm on the teacher portal where teachers would put in comments or narratives for their students. So in my example, I'm using Greg Delareggi for my Algebra 2/Trig Honors class. And as a teacher, I put in these comments or this comment for this particular student. Once I finish my comment, and what I'll actually do is I'll just make some mistakes just for this example. So I'll spell attitude wrong, and I'll maybe spell remainder wrong in this example. And once I think that my comment is finished, I can click teacher submitted, and I can save my comment. So now I have marked it as teacher submitted, and I've finished my comment for this particular student. So now So now I am logged in as John Smith, who is the administrator that approves the comments first. So the administrator goes to comments and marks and goes to comment selection, and they can find comments based on different criteria. So they can find all the comments that have been submitted by the teachers by searching for the status, or they can find comments based on a course, or they can find comments based on a student. So there are different methods you can search for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search based on the student, and I'm going to search based on the status of teacher submitted, so that I only want to look for comments that have been submitted by the teacher, so I don't have to waste my time going through comments that have not yet been submitted. So I pick my criteria and I click search, and it pulls up this comment which was submitted by the teacher in our previous step. So then I go to edit. As an administrator, I can go to edit, and then I can review the comment, and then if I want to provide feedback to the teacher, I can provide the feedback here. So I noticed that this teacher spelled attitude wrong, and I noticed that this was a typo here. Should have been remainder instead of reminder. So in my comment, I can provide that information to the teacher. So I'll just write something like, it looks like you have a couple of typos. Please fix and resubmit your comment. So I could, as an administrator, I could provide her with feedback, and then I can mark it as return to teacher, and then this is what I was previously referring to, notify teacher. I can click on notify teacher, and then I can click save, and then the teacher would get an email that would let her know that this comment was returned and what she needs to do to fix the comment. So now I am back on the teacher portal, and the teacher, when the teacher comes to the comment page, she can see which ones have been submitted, which ones have been returned to teacher, which ones have not been submitted or not been reviewed. And the teacher can go to the comments that have been returned back to her. So she will get an email, but she can also find those comments here based on the statuses that we set up previously. So the teacher can go to the comment that was returned, and based on the feedback, she can fix whatever the comment needed to be fixed. So if I can I'll just spell this correctly this time. Attitude here, and then remainder here. Once the teacher fixes the comment, she can set it back to teacher submitted, and then click save. Now I am back on the screen as an administrator, John Smith. So I go to edit, and this time I review the comment, and it looks good, and I'm ready to accept it, so I can get rid of the feedback, and then this time I can mark it as admin approved. You'll notice that I have access to all the statuses before admin approved and up until admin approved, but I don't have the option to mark it as department approved because I was not added as a user who can mark a comment as department approved. So that would be someone else who would mark it as department approved. So I click admin approved, and then I can click save all here, and I can save the comment so that now it is marked as admin approved. This is the perspective of the teacher once the comment has been approved. Because the teacher does not have the option to change a comment when it has been approved by an admin, the teacher cannot change the comment anymore. until the admin were to change it to return to teacher or some other status before admin approved. So at that time, the teacher cannot make any changes to the comment once it has been approved. So this time I am logged in as a department head. Department head will be the last level of approval. So I could search again by the name of the student. I could search by the status that have been marked as admin approved, because as a department head I only need to find status comments with status of admin approved, so then I can put the final approval and accept the comment. So I find this particular comment that was approved by an admin. I go to edit on that comment, and now I can see the department approved because the user that I'm logged in as, he's a department head, so he can actually see the department approved status, which other users were not able to see. So I select department approved, and of course in any step of the way, if I want to notify the teacher, I can. So in my email I can always put in what the status of the comment is, so at any point I can notify the teacher if I wanted to. So I finally mark it as department approved, and then I go ahead and save the comment, and now the comment has been saved. Now what I would do is that I would make the report, whether it's my report card or just a narrative report or comment reports only, I could make that available to the parents and to the advisors. And the way that I do is that I find the student that I had just approved the comment for. I go to multi-action menu, and there's an option called Archive PDF. I go there and I select the report that I want to archive. So in this example, I'm gonna use report card comments only. There are many different options that you have available depending on how you want to format it and what information you want to show. But report card comments only shows just the narratives for a particular student that you're archiving. So I'm gonna go ahead and select report card comments only, and because I put in, the teacher put in comment for quarter 4, that's what I'll do. And then I can put in a description, and then I can put in an available date. So available date is when it would be available to the parents and available to the administrators through the teacher portal, or to the advisors from the teacher portal or the advisor portal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in today's date, and here I can put in an example. So for example, I'll say something like, this is a narrative comment for Greg Delareggi, something like that. And then I can click request report. What that'll do is it'll run and it'll archive the report and it'll publish it to the parent portal based on the date and time I had selected here. So I'll go ahead and click request report. Now it says archiving complete. One record was archived. This is what the teacher would see once it has been approved by the department head. So it would have the new status here. And then once it reaches the last status, it'll check this box off, which was not checked before. So it'll be marked as comment accepted. That means that the comment has been accepted by the highest level of comment status management system that we had created. Now I am logged in as a parent. So I'm logged in as a parent for the student Greg Delareggi. And then the way that the parent sees is that we have a widget called report cards. We also have a widget called transcript, progress reports, and so forth. But the parent can see any reports that were archived and made available based on the date. And they can see the description, and then they can click the PDF link here, and they can download the report. So the parent can download what the report contained when it was archived, so they can view the comments, or if it was a report card, they would also see the comments and the grades depending on which report you archived and what kind of report it was, they would see that information on the parent portal. Advisors would also see that information in the same way. Now I'm logged in as an advisor in the teacher portal, so I click on advisees at the top and I see that Greg is my advisee, so I click on his name. And then similar to how the parent portal looks, you can set up the advisor page the same way, where you can show whatever widgets you may want to show to advisors. In my example, one of the widgets is the PDF reports, and just like how the parent can view and download the reports, so can the advisor.